Hey there, friends. It's Alex here, your host of the Elderly Transformation Podcast, where we turn wisdom into wellness and aging into empowerment. Let me start with a question that might make you raise an eyebrow. Have you ever thought that the fruits you're eating every day, the ones everyone calls healthy, could actually be harming you? I know, it sounds crazy, right? We've grown up believing that fruits are nature's candy, full of vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. But what if I told you that for seniors, certain fruits might not be as innocent as they seem? Imagine biting into a juicy mango, thinking it's helping your heart, but instead, it's quietly spiking your blood sugar or interfering with your medication. Today's episode might sound a bit dramatic, but trust me, it's not about fear. It's about facts. As we age, our bodies change. Our metabolism slows, our kidneys work differently, and some of us develop chronic conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. So while fruits can be a great part of a healthy diet, not all of them are safe for everyone. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. Which fruits to watch out for, why they can be risky, and how to enjoy them safely. But before we peel back the truth, I want to know from you. Have you ever had a fruit that made you feel bloated, dizzy, or unwell? Maybe you've noticed your blood sugar spike after a fruit salad. Drop your experiences in the comments. Your story might help another listener out there stay healthy and informed. Now that we've set the stage, let's talk about why some fruits can actually become problematic as we age. You see, the older we get, the more sensitive our bodies become to certain nutrients, especially sugars, acids, and potassium. Many fruits that seem completely harmless can become silent troublemakers when paired with common senior health conditions like diabetes, kidney disease, or even digestive issues such as acid reflux. Take bananas, for example. They're packed with potassium, which is great for heart health. But if you have kidney problems, your kidneys may struggle to filter out the excess potassium. That can lead to a dangerous buildup in your bloodstream, potentially causing irregular heartbeats. Or consider grapes, delicious, bite-sized, and full of antioxidants. Yet, they're also extremely high in natural sugars. For someone with diabetes, a handful of grapes can send blood glucose levels soaring faster than a candy bar. This is why it's so crucial for seniors and caregivers to understand that healthy doesn't always mean healthy for everyone. It's about personalizing nutrition. What works for a 25-year-old athlete might not work for a 75-year-old retiree managing multiple medications. So today, we're not just naming fruits to avoid, we're diving into the why behind it all, because knowledge is the real superfood. Stick with me, because some of the fruits I'll mention might be sitting in your kitchen right now, and one of them might surprise you the most. And don't worry, I'll also share safer alternatives, so you'll still have plenty of tasty options to enjoy without putting your health at risk. Let's start with one of the most misunderstood aspects of fruit: natural sugar. Many people think that because sugar in fruit is natural, it can't possibly be harmful. But here's the truth. Your body doesn't always care whether that sugar comes from a candy bar or a banana. Sugar is sugar, and as we age, our ability to process it effectively declines. That's especially true for those managing diabetes, insulin resistance, or metabolic syndrome. Imagine eating a big bowl of ripe pineapple chunks on a warm afternoon. Sounds refreshing, right? But here's the catch. Pineapples have one of the highest glycemic indexes among fruits, meaning they cause your blood sugar to rise quickly. If you're someone who needs to keep blood sugar levels steady, that tropical treat can turn into a health hazard before you know it. The same goes for fruits like mangoes, cherries, and even dates. Yes, dates are often marketed as a healthy sweetener, but just a few of them pack more sugar than a tablespoon of honey. Over time, consistently high sugar intake, even from natural sources, can lead to inflammation, fatigue, and increased risk for heart disease. So if you've been swapping desserts for fruit, thinking it's the safe option, it's time to reconsider portion sizes and types. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should swear off fruit entirely. The key is moderation and making smart choices. For instance, berries like raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries are lower in sugar and higher in fiber, making them a much better choice for seniors looking to keep their blood sugar balanced. Remember, the goal isn't to fear food, but to understand it, because that's the foundation of smart, senior-friendly nutrition. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that often flies under the radar: how certain fruits can interfere with medications. This is a big one, and it's something every senior and caregiver should know about. You see, as we get older, many of us rely on prescription medications to manage conditions like high blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart disease. But what most people don't realize is that some fruits can actually change the way your body processes those drugs. Take grapefruit, for example, one of the biggest offenders. It's tangy, refreshing, and packed with vitamin C, but it contains compounds that can block an enzyme in your intestines responsible for breaking down many medications. That means your body absorbs too much of the drug, turning a normal dose into a potentially dangerous one. Medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, like statins, anxiety, and even certain painkillers can all be affected. Another sneaky culprit? Pomegranate. While often praised for its antioxidants, it can interact with some blood pressure medications and blood thinners, increasing the risk of side effects. And if you're on warfarin or other anticoagulants, even cranberries, especially in juice form, can pose risks by thinning the blood too much. So, if you're taking medications regularly, it's essential to double-check with your doctor or pharmacist before adding new fruits to your diet. A simple conversation could literally save your life. I always say, the right food can heal, but the wrong food can steal your health. Don't let a glass of fresh juice undo your hard work in managing your conditions. Coming up next, we're going to start listing specific fruits that might be causing more harm than good. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for the last one because it's a fruit almost everyone believes is a superfood. Before we dive into our list of risky fruits, I want to take a quick pause and talk to you. Yes, you, my wonderful listener. If you've been enjoying this episode so far and learning something new, I'd love for you to like this podcast, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Maybe it's a friend from your walking group, a neighbor who loves gardening, or a family member who helps you with meal planning. Trust me, this information can make a real difference in their life too. On this show, we're building a community of seniors, caregivers, and health enthusiasts who believe that aging is not a limitation, it's a transformation. Every week, I bring you practical advice, easy-to-follow tips, and the kind of insight that helps you take control of your health with confidence and joy. When you hit that subscribe button, you're not just supporting this show. You're joining a movement of people who want to age smarter, stronger, and more vibrantly. And hey, let's make this interactive. After this episode, head to the comments and tell me what fruit you've been eating daily. Are you a banana lover? A fan of dried fruits? I'd love to know. And who knows, your story might help inspire an upcoming episode. Remember, health is a lifelong journey, and I'm right here walking that path with you. So give that like button a little tap of love, subscribe for more weekly insights, and let's grow together. Now let's get back to business. It's time to uncover the top fruits seniors should think twice about, starting with one that's often hiding in plain sight in breakfast bowls everywhere. All right, let's kick off our list with a fruit that's practically a breakfast staple, the banana. It's soft, convenient, and packed with nutrients like vitamin B6, fiber, and of course, potassium. For most people, that's great news because potassium helps regulate blood pressure and supports muscle function. But here's where things get tricky. As we age, our kidneys may not function as efficiently as they once did. That means they can struggle to remove excess potassium from the bloodstream. When potassium builds up, it can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia, which may cause fatigue, muscle weakness, and even dangerous heart rhythm problems. This is especially important for seniors who are on certain blood pressure medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, which already raise potassium levels. So, adding multiple bananas a day, or blending them into smoothies, can unintentionally push potassium to unsafe levels. Another hidden issue with bananas is their glycemic index. Ripe bananas, especially when spotted or brown, have a higher sugar content. That natural sugar can spike blood glucose levels faster than you might expect, posing a challenge for people managing diabetes or insulin resistance. Does that mean you have to banish bananas from your kitchen forever? Not at all. The key here is moderation and awareness. If you love bananas, try eating them when they're slightly green. Less ripe bananas have lower sugar levels and release energy more slowly. Or pair half a banana with some protein or healthy fat, like a spoonful of peanut butter, to help balance blood sugar. Remember, the goal isn't to scare you off from eating what you love. It's to help you make informed, smarter choices that fit your unique health needs. And trust me, the next fruit might surprise you even more, because it's often labeled a heart-healthy hero. But for seniors, it can be a sneaky troublemaker. Stick around. You'll definitely want to hear this one. Moving on to our next contender, grapes. These tiny, juicy gems might look harmless, but for older adults, they can pack a surprising punch of natural sugar. Think about it. A single cup of grapes can contain over 23 grams of sugar. That's roughly equivalent to 5 teaspoons. And because they're bite-sized and delicious, it's all too easy to munch on several handfuls without realizing how much sugar you're consuming. For seniors with diabetes or pre-diabetes, that can mean sharp blood sugar spikes followed by energy crashes, mood swings, and long-term complications like nerve damage or vision issues. But sugar isn't the only concern here. Grapes, especially red and black varieties, are high in resveratrol, an antioxidant often praised for its heart benefits. While that's great in theory, high doses can actually interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin, making your blood too thin and increasing bleeding risks. So if you're on any anticoagulants, even natural foods with these compounds can cause trouble. There's also the digestive angle. The skin of grapes is rich in fiber, but for seniors with sensitive stomachs or diverticulosis, that tough skin can be hard to break down, leading to bloating or discomfort. So what can you do? Instead of snacking mindlessly on grapes, try portioning them. About 10 to 12 grapes makes a sensible serving. Or better yet, swap them out for lower sugar fruits like blackberries or raspberries, which still satisfy your sweet tooth without the same glycemic impact. You can even freeze grapes and enjoy a few as a cool treat. Just remember, moderation is key. I know it's tempting to think, but they're just fruit. Yet, as we've already learned, not all fruits are created equal, especially when your health and medications are part of the equation. Up next, we'll be talking about a fruit that's often seen as exotic and energizing, but for some seniors, it can be a real kidney crusher. Stay tuned, because this one's often hiding in fruit salads and smoothies without you even noticing. Let's turn our attention to pineapple, that sweet, tangy fruit many of us associate with summer, smoothies, or pizza toppings. Pineapples are rich in vitamin C, manganese, and bromelain, an enzyme praised for its anti-inflammatory properties. Sounds perfect, right? Well, here's the catch. Pineapple is also high in natural sugars and acids, which can pose hidden risks for seniors. For those managing diabetes, that sugar content can spike blood glucose levels quickly, especially when eaten in large portions or blended into juices, where the fiber is often stripped away. The acidity is another factor. It can irritate sensitive stomachs or worsen conditions like acid reflux or gastritis, which are more common in older adults. But the real kicker for some seniors is its effect on kidney health. Pineapple is moderately high in potassium. If your kidneys are already struggling to filter out electrolytes efficiently, consuming too much potassium can create an imbalance, leading to fatigue, irregular heartbeat, or other serious complications. And don't forget about bromelain. While it's beneficial in moderation, it can interact with blood thinners and certain antibiotics, sometimes causing unexpected side effects. So how do we enjoy pineapple safely? Portion control is key. A few chunks here and there rather than a full bowl, preferably combined with protein or healthy fats to slow sugar absorption. Fresh pineapple is generally safer than canned versions, which are often soaked in syrup and spike sugar content even higher. And if acidity is an issue, rinsing it lightly with water or pairing it with yogurt can help reduce irritation. The important thing is awareness. These tropical treats aren't bad, but like everything we've discussed so far, they require moderation and thoughtfulness. And speaking of surprises, the next fruit we'll talk about is commonly considered a superfood. Yet it hides one of the sneakiest sugar traps for seniors. Stick around, you won't want to miss this one. Next on our list is the famous mango, often called the king of fruits for its vibrant color, tropical flavor, and nutrient-packed profile. Mangoes are loaded with vitamins A and C, fiber, and antioxidants, which makes them appear like a no-brainer for a healthy diet. But here's the part that seniors need to pay attention to. Mangoes are extremely high in natural sugar. A single cup of sliced mango can contain around 23 grams of sugar, which is comparable to some desserts. For someone with diabetes, insulin resistance, or even prediabetes, that sugar can quickly send blood glucose levels soaring, making it hard to maintain stable energy and increasing long-term health risks. But sugar isn't the only concern. Mangoes also contain compounds that may interact with certain medications, including those for diabetes or high blood pressure, potentially amplifying or interfering with their effects. And if you're prone to digestive issues, mango's high fiber content, especially in the skin, can sometimes lead to bloating or mild stomach upset. So, does that mean you have to completely avoid mangoes? Not at all. The trick is portion control and pairing. Enjoy half a mango instead of a full one, or mix small pieces with protein-rich yogurt to slow sugar absorption. Frozen mango chunks are also a fun way to enjoy the flavor without overindulging. The key takeaway here is that even fruits celebrated as superfoods need to be considered carefully in the context of your unique health situation. And here's a heads up. The next fruit on our list may seem harmless, but it can interfere with your medications in ways you might not expect. So don't skip the next segment. Now we come to a fruit that's probably familiar to many of you. Grapefruit. This tangy, slightly bitter citrus fruit is often hailed for its vitamin C content and its ability to support immune health. But here's a crucial fact that many seniors and caregivers overlook. Grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins, which can interfere with enzymes in your liver and intestines that metabolize medications. What does that mean in plain language? Essentially, grapefruit can make certain drugs much stronger or less effective, depending on how your body processes them. Medications for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, anxiety, and even some painkillers can be affected. For instance, someone taking statins for cholesterol may experience higher drug levels than intended if they regularly consume grapefruit, increasing the risk of side effects like muscle pain or liver issues. It's not just grapefruit juice. The fruit itself, slices in salads, or even grapefruit-based smoothies can cause these interactions. Beyond medication, grapefruit is also acidic, which may aggravate conditions like acid reflux or sensitive stomachs. So what's the safest approach? If you're taking prescription medications, It's best to consult your doctor or pharmacist before adding grapefruit to your diet. Alternatively, you can enjoy other citrus fruits like oranges or tangerines, which don't have the same enzyme-blocking effects, but still provide a healthy dose of vitamin C. Before we move to our next fruit, I want to take a quick moment to remind you, if you're enjoying this episode and finding it useful, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this podcast with someone you care about. Because awareness like this can truly make a difference in someone's life. Now, let's keep going because the next fruit is sweet, small, and seemingly innocent. Yet, it can be a serious problem for certain seniors. Let's talk about cherries, those small, ruby-colored fruits that often feel like nature's candy. They're packed with antioxidants, fiber, and vitamins, and many people eat them for their purported anti-inflammatory benefits. However, cherries are also surprisingly high in natural sugar. A cup of sweet cherries contains roughly 18 grams of sugar, which can elevate blood glucose levels quickly in seniors with diabetes or insulin resistance. Beyond sugar, cherries can also interact with certain medications. For example, some studies suggest that cherry consumption might enhance the effects of blood thinners due to their high vitamin K content, potentially increasing the risk of bleeding for people on medications like warfarin. Cherries also contain compounds that can slightly lower blood pressure, which might cause complications for seniors already taking antihypertensive drugs. And for those with sensitive digestive systems, cherries' fiber and fructose content can lead to bloating or mild stomach discomfort if eaten in large quantities. So what's the solution? Moderation is key. Enjoy a handful of cherries as a sweet treat, but avoid eating an entire bowl at once. Pairing cherries with protein or healthy fat can also help slow sugar absorption, reducing spikes in blood glucose. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all sweetness from your life. It's about making informed choices that protect your health while still letting you enjoy the pleasures of eating. Coming up next is a fruit often seen as a breakfast staple, but it carries hidden risks for both blood sugar and digestion. Stick around, because the last one I'll talk about in this segment is the one that surprises most seniors. Now let's discuss the ever-popular apple, a fruit many of us have been told to eat daily for decades. Apples are rich in fiber, vitamin C, and antioxidants, and they come in countless varieties to suit every taste. But here's a little-known fact. While apples are generally healthy, they can pose challenges for some seniors. First, there's the sugar content. A medium-sized apple contains about 19 grams of sugar, and while the fiber helps slow sugar absorption, overeating apples, especially in juice form, can spike blood glucose levels, which is a concern for seniors managing diabetes. Then there's the digestive angle. Apples are high in fructose, a natural sugar that can ferment in the gut and cause bloating, gas, or mild stomach discomfort in people with sensitive digestive systems. Cooking apples or eating them peeled can sometimes help, but raw apples can be rough on certain stomachs. Another consideration is medication interaction. Apples are high in vitamin K, which can interfere with blood thinners like warfarin, just as we saw with cherries. So if you're taking anticoagulants, portion control is crucial. But don't worry, apples can still be enjoyed safely. Pairing an apple with a small serving of protein, like nuts or cheese, can slow sugar absorption and reduce digestive discomfort. Also, rotating your fruit intake so you're not eating apples every single day can help balance both blood sugar and nutrient intake. And just when you think we're done with surprises, the next fruit on our list is one that seniors often consider a heart-friendly snack. Yet it carries a hidden danger that's easy to overlook. Now, let's talk about dried fruits, those raisins, apricots, figs, and dates that are often praised as a healthy snack. At first glance, they seem perfect, small, portable, and packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. But here's the catch. Drying fruit concentrates the sugar dramatically. For example, a small handful of raisins can contain the same sugar as an entire cup of fresh grapes. And dates, just 3 or 4, can easily pack more sugar than a candy bar. For seniors managing blood sugar issues, this concentrated sugar can lead to dangerous spikes and make diabetes management more difficult. Dried fruits are also calorie-dense, so overindulgence can lead to weight gain, which further stresses the heart and joints. Another hidden factor is sulfites, which are sometimes added to dried fruits to preserve color. These chemicals can trigger allergic reactions or digestive discomfort in sensitive individuals. And don't forget the stickiness factor. Dried fruits can get trapped in teeth, increasing the risk of cavities, especially for seniors with dental issues. So how can you enjoy them safely? Portion control is absolutely essential. Instead of snacking directly from a large bag, measure out a small serving and pair it with nuts or yogurt to slow sugar absorption. Also, try soaking dried fruits in water to reduce sugar density and make them easier to digest. Remember, dried fruits are not evil. They just require more careful handling than fresh options. Stick around, because the next fruit on our list is something many people consider a miracle food for heart health. But for seniors, it can be deceptively dangerous if consumed without caution. Let's turn our attention to oranges, one of the most commonly consumed citrus fruits around the world. Oranges are celebrated for their vitamin C, fiber, and immune-boosting properties, making them a seemingly perfect snack for seniors. However, even something as classic as an orange has hidden considerations for older adults. First, the sugar content. A medium orange contains around 12 grams of natural sugar, which may not sound like much, but if you're enjoying multiple oranges or drinking fresh orange juice throughout the day, that sugar adds up quickly. For seniors with diabetes or prediabetes, that can translate into repeated blood sugar spikes. Then there's the acid factor. The citric acid in oranges can aggravate acid reflux, heartburn, or sensitive stomachs, which are common issues among older adults. Another point to consider is medication interactions. Like grapefruit, some citrus fruits may interfere with the absorption of certain medications, though oranges are generally milder. Still, if you're taking multiple prescriptions, it's always wise to check with your pharmacist. To enjoy oranges safely, moderation is key. A single orange as a snack or dessert is fine, but avoid drinking large quantities of juice. Pairing orange slices with protein, like cottage cheese or a handful of nuts, can help stabilize blood sugar levels and reduce digestive stress. And now, my friends, we're getting close to one of the most surprising fruits on this list. A fruit that many consider a superfood for seniors. But one bite too many could create serious complications if you're not careful. Don't miss the next segment, because this one is eye-opening. Next up, we have avocado, a creamy, versatile fruit often praised as a superfood. Packed with healthy fats, fiber, potassium, and vitamins E and C, it's easy to see why many seniors include it in salads, smoothies, or toast. But even this nutrient-rich fruit comes with some considerations for older adults. First, the potassium content is high. A single avocado contains about 175 milligrams of potassium. For seniors with kidney issues, this can pose a serious risk because impaired kidneys may struggle to regulate potassium levels, potentially leading to irregular heart rhythms or other complications. Avocados also interact with certain medications, particularly blood thinners and some heart medications, due to their vitamin K content. Another factor is their calorie density. Avocados are high in fat, and while it's healthy fat, overeating can contribute to unwanted weight gain, which in turn can exacerbate joint or cardiovascular problems. And let's not forget digestive considerations. Avocados are rich in fiber, which can be great for some, but may cause bloating or mild stomach upset in those with sensitive digestion. So how can seniors enjoy avocados safely? Stick to half an avocado per meal. and pair it with proteins or vegetables to balance absorption and reduce blood sugar spikes. Always check with your healthcare provider if you're taking medications that might interact with this fruit. Before we move to the next fruit, the final and perhaps most surprising one, I want to remind you that if you're enjoying this episode and finding it helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with friends or caregivers. Every share could help someone make safer choices and live healthier, longer. And now, get ready for the fruit that's so common in diets today, yet can be a silent threat if you're not careful. Now let's dive into watermelon, the quintessential summer fruit loved for its juiciness and refreshing taste. It's hydrating, low in fat, and provides a healthy dose of vitamins A and C. But here's the twist. Watermelon has a high glycemic index, which means it can spike blood sugar levels rapidly, a concern for seniors managing diabetes or insulin resistance. Even though watermelon is mostly water, its sugar content is absorbed quickly, so consuming large portions can cause sudden blood sugar jumps. Another factor to consider is potassium. Like many fruits we've discussed, watermelon contains potassium, and if you have kidney issues, excessive intake can strain your system. For those on blood pressure medications or diuretics, this can also impact electrolyte balance. Digestive effects are generally mild, but some seniors may notice bloating if they eat too much at once due to its high water and fiber content. So how do you enjoy watermelon safely? Stick to small slices or a single cup of cubed watermelon at a time, and pair it with a protein source to slow sugar absorption. Remember, moderation is key. A single slice won't hurt, but the classic summer habit of eating platefuls can be risky. And coming up, the next fruit is one that's often marketed as a diet-friendly snack, but for seniors it hides surprising sugar content and medication interactions. Now let's shift the focus slightly to fruit juices, especially pineapple juice, orange juice, and mixed fruit blends. Many seniors assume that drinking juice is just as healthy as eating whole fruit, but that's a common misconception. Juices often contain concentrated sugar without fiber, which means your body absorbs it much faster, causing blood sugar spikes. For someone managing diabetes or insulin resistance, this can be particularly risky. Take pineapple juice, for example. A single cup contains roughly 25 grams of sugar, which is more than many soft drinks. And because it's liquid, it's easy to consume multiple cups without realizing how much sugar you've ingested. There's also the matter of medication interactions. High doses of certain fruit juices, like cranberry or grapefruit juice, can interfere with blood thinners, cholesterol-lowering drugs, and blood pressure medications. Even if the juice is labeled all natural, or no added sugar, the naturally occurring sugar can still be a problem. To enjoy juice safely, limit portions to half a cup, choose 100% juice without added sugar, and ideally pair it with a protein or fat source to slow sugar absorption. Alternatively, eating the whole fruit is always safer because fiber helps regulate sugar absorption and keeps your digestive system happy. And just when you thought we were almost done, the final fruit on our list is arguably the most surprising. One that seniors often consider completely harmless, but it can quietly cause serious problems if consumed carelessly. Now, for our final and perhaps most surprising entry, tomatoes. Yes, you heard that right. Tomatoes are technically a fruit, and while most people think of them as a vegetable, they deserve a spot on our list for seniors. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, vitamin C, and antioxidants, which can support heart health and reduce inflammation. But here's the catch. Tomatoes are acidic, which can aggravate acid reflux, heartburn, and sensitive stomachs in older adults. Seniors with digestive conditions may notice discomfort after eating tomato sauces, fresh tomatoes, or even ketchup. Then there's potassium. A medium tomato contains about 292 milligrams, and if you're eating multiple tomatoes in salads, sauces, or juices throughout the day, it can add up, especially for seniors with kidney issues. Another hidden factor is medication interaction. Tomatoes contain vitamin K, which can interfere with blood-thinning medications and affect their efficacy. Additionally, concentrated tomato products like sauces or juices often contain added sodium, which can impact blood pressure control. So, what's the safest way to enjoy tomatoes? Stick to moderation, balance them with non-acidic foods, and avoid excessive daily consumption if you have kidney problems, digestive issues, or are on certain medications. It's a classic example of a seemingly safe food that can create complications when consumed carelessly, showing just how important it is to be mindful about the fruits we eat as we age. And now, my friends, we're coming to the part where I tie all of this together with some actionable tips and a final reminder to stay connected with the podcast community. As we near the end of today's episode, let's take a moment to put all of this information into practical, actionable advice. First and foremost, moderation is your best friend. Even fruits that are high in sugar, potassium, or acid can be enjoyed safely when portioned correctly and paired with protein, fiber, or healthy fats to slow absorption and reduce digestive stress. Second, consider your individual health conditions. If you have diabetes, kidney disease, high blood pressure, or digestive issues, be extra mindful of fruits like bananas, mangoes, and tomatoes. Third, always check for medication interactions. Grapefruit, pomegranate, cherries, and even certain citrus juices can interfere with prescription drugs, so it's crucial to consult your doctor or pharmacist before making changes to your diet. Fourth, pay attention to how you prepare and consume fruit. Fresh fruit is usually better than juice, and lightly cooking or pairing with other foods can reduce potential issues. And finally, listen to your body. If a fruit consistently causes bloating, heartburn, or blood sugar spikes, it may be time to cut back or try alternatives. The goal isn't to eliminate fruit from your life, far from it. Fruits provide essential nutrients, antioxidants, and fiber that support overall health. By making informed choices, you can enjoy a variety of fruits safely, keeping your meals both delicious and beneficial for your body. Remember, knowledge is the key to a healthier, more vibrant life, and paying attention to these hidden risks is just one way to transform your well-being as you age. And now, let's wrap things up with a final friendly reminder and a little motivation to stay connected with our podcast family. We've reached the end of today's episode, friends, and I want to leave you with a few key takeaways that can truly help you live healthier as you age. First, not all fruits are created equal for seniors. Factors like sugar content, potassium levels, acidity, and medication interactions can turn seemingly harmless fruits into hidden risks. Second, moderation and personalization are crucial. What works for your neighbor or grandchild may not work for you, so always tailor your diet to your health needs. Third, knowledge is empowerment. Understanding how each fruit affects your body allows you to enjoy the ones you love safely and avoid potential complications. Remember, this podcast isn't about fear-mongering. It's about giving you the information you need to make smart, informed choices. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, I encourage you to like this podcast, subscribe, and share it with your friends, family, or caregivers. By doing so, you're helping us build a community focused on supporting seniors to live longer, healthier, and more vibrant lives. Finally, I want to remind you to keep observing how your body reacts to different fruits and foods. Consult your healthcare providers regularly and take small steps toward balanced nutrition. Aging is a journey, not a sprint, and with the right guidance, you can enjoy life fully without unnecessary risks. Thank you for spending this time with me, Alex, on the Elderly Transformation Podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay healthy, because every bite you take is a step toward your best, most vibrant self.